because I am happy like you would not believe. If you can't tell, may have had a few drinky poos already. I live for these moments, and I've already met a lot of fun people too. So when you go solo, it's a little nerve-wracking, even for a guy that's social like me. You know, am I gonna find people I like? Am I gonna be lonely? And I always do. I don't know why I even worry about it. And so far today I've met a million people that are awesome. So anyway, back to my table. I want to take a walk around and take a look at the city. So nice. Once again, Miami is beautiful when it's nice out. When it's nice out. When it's twilight. And we've got free champagne stacked up galore. Okay, we are pulling off our terminal right now. It is 80 something and humid. It's actually a little bit warmer than it should be, but it's been beautiful. There's a sailing channel here that our ship has to pivot in the middle part and then go out the sailing channel. I think there's 7 or 8 terminals along this run. And we're at the very end. The Virgin terminal's at the corner. And each ship has basically a half an hour, 15-minute staggering things. It's a Sunday, so unlike the last time I was here, it was every single terminal was full. Meanwhile, we already had the Virgin festivities. I didn't film much of it. You can see the craziness. It's honestly too loud for me, and from what I've heard, it's too loud for everybody. Virgin, seriously, we can hear the music without you doing that. So I'm already having fun. I hit the solo group for a few seconds, and there's a Facebook group. Met a bunch of people there too. So if you sail solo, I've said this before, you're never alone. A lot of friends have said to me, wait, you're sailing solo? You're all alone on a cruise? And I'm like, well, all right, that would be scary. But the way I look at it is there's 3,000 friends on board that I haven't met yet. And it's crazy that you see the same, Pietro and I, he's from Poland, we booked separately and just noticed that we're on the same ship. A lot of frequent cruisers, you see them again and again. So, as you can tell, I don't know if you can do it, but we are pivoting with azopods on these ships. They're like mini subs underneath, and they can spin a 360 right in the middle of a small circle. And if you look at this video, I'm not moving it. Watch the buildings move from left to right. 6 days coming up, Western Caribbean. You'll see more from me in between the craziness. Saying I might want to get better at this, but no, I'm not going to do that probably, unless a miracle happens, because I don't have the patience to really edit them the right way to be as good as the professional vloggers. If you like cruises, Ben and David are the best. You can look them up on YouTube. They're fantastic. I still think that sooner or later they're going to get their own Discovery Channel show. If I don't post the earlier videos, god damn it, the freaking music is so loud. I love Sailaway parties, but this cruise line just overdoes the volume. So I didn't actually film a lot of it, and what I did film probably, you might not be able to hear me. And if I put it on YouTube, all those songs get strikes on them, so I can't even put them without replacing them. But I've already had a fun time. I've only been on board since 2 o'clock. It is about, I have no idea, it's like 6 o'clock or so. We're sailing away. We are the last ship to sail. People have always asked me, what is the difference with Virgin? One big difference, there's their terminal right there. One big difference is they leave later from Miami on all their ports, and you embark later and you disembark later. And, you know, for me, this is actually probably a good thing because I'm not a morning person. Most people that know me probably know that. But one of the things I hate about cruises is that on the final day, when I'm not really wanting to go home, I'm just spent the best time of my life, and I got to go back to reality. And you got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get off the ship by 9 o'clock, you know. So this ship tries to be different in a million different ways. And one of the ways is, you know, we're not going to rush you off the ship. So you have until 10:30 to get off. Not a big difference, but a guy like me that wants to say goodbye to all his friends on Friday night, or the last night of the cruise, which would be Friday night on this one. I always say I got to go to bed early, and I don't, because by the end of the week, I've made a bunch of new friends. And the last night is always tough because, Rich, come over here. It's like, oh my God, I hope I see you again. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I end up staying up late. Someday I'll own something like that. It's my dream. My ADD is switching to another subject. I watch 1 million catamaran and monohull, ship blogs online, and always say I'm going to buy one of those and sail the world in my old age. But I'm never going to do it because they need constant maintenance, and you got to be a billionaire. So I just will cruise, I think. But anyway, so it's nice. The bad news is you get to board later. This ship boards starting at 1:30 and as late as 4:30. And I was lucky enough to get a 1:45 time. You have to fight for those early times. And I was on board by a little after 2. But you don't have to disembark. I set my clock for like 7:30 on the final day, which is a little more acceptable than 6 a.m. And then can maybe have a breakfast and make my way off and then do the long drive back to Atlanta. So today, so far, it's day 1. It's officially day 1. I'm going to walk. This is a jogging track, by the way, and there's people actually jogging today. So we're moving through this beautiful, spacious channel. This area right here in Miami cruise port area, we're going by, if you look at this end way back here, the NCL is Terminal B. The one that's in front of that is Terminal A. It's Royal Caribbean's terminal. And then we go all the way down. Each one of these, it goes alphabetical order all the way to G at the end. And then as you go around the corner now, Virgin has their dedicated terminal. The Port Authority used to own all of these terminals and just, it would be random cruises that go out of each one. But then a lot of the cruise lines said, you know what, we want a dedicated one to be branded to us. So they made a deal to buy some of the space and do their own. So Royal Caribbean and NCL in the last 5 years have built beautiful terminals, and we're coming up to those right now. And then Virgin came in late with cruising. They only have 4 ships, and did the Terminal V, ruining the convention of alphabetical order. We go from A to G and then V. OCD people like me hate that shit. So, but the NCL and Royal Caribbean, which run a number of ships, so this is their exclusive terminal. Now, if it's up to them if they want to rent it out to another line, but I don't think they do. And both of these terminals have been built in the last, I'd say 5 or 6 years. You know, right before COVID, these were finalizing. And they have their own parking garages, and a lot of these parking garages are freaking unbelievable. You can stop as you enter the garage, they'll unload your luggage and put it right on the ship for you, and then find your parking space, and it's all integrated. Not the case with Virgin right now. You can pull into their terminal, and they put the tags on and put it up there, and then you got to drive around the corner and go. It's not a big deal, but a lot of these lines are working really hard in Spain, paying, I don't know what these cost, $50 million or something, to make beautiful terminals. But anyway, we have free champagne, and Pietro kept running up and saying, more champagne, get 2 at a time. You can get 2 at a time. And I think I have 8 champagnes in me at this point. So, bear with me. But anyway, perfect weather, perfect time. I'm on the 6-night journey, and I'm so happy because the first day is great. You don't know what's coming up. Hopefully it's all good. Never had bad, which is amazing. But yeah, goodbye to America, and we'll be going to, tomorrow's a day at sea, and then we have Costa Maya, Mexico, and then we have Roatan, one of my favorite places, an island off of Honduras. It's part of Honduras. And then I think we have another day at sea, and then we go to Bimini, Bahamas, and their private resort, which all inclusive, and it is part of your fare here. You have a drink plan, you can use it there, and the food is free if you're on Virgin. So we have all that coming up in the next 6 days. So if you like to voyage with me, watch Facebook. Okay, there's a few stragglers. If you see these little lights at the beach on Miami Beach as we pull out, there was a whole big crowd doing it, and I've never noticed that before. They're all waving their lights, and we started putting our lights on. That's awesome. I missed that. Fast enough. We are pretty much out of the channel right now. You can see different ships in the distance, and we're saying goodbye to Miami. And I think all the people are done waving at us. Some of the people in condos wave from the balconies, and then there was a ton of people waving from the beach. I'll tell you, if I had a balcony condo here, I'd be waving at the cruise ships every day. I say that now, but it might get old. Who knows? Bye, Miami. Bye, United States. I'm at the aft part of the ship and thought I'd get a better picture of Miami, but we are pretty far out now. You can see the flashing of the different buoys that we have to sail in between. And believe it or not, this is kind of a narrow channel. I don't know if you can tell by the flashes, but the ships have to navigate through those. Most of the time you have a pilot ship that guides you through this, and you have a pilot on board that knows the specific port better than the captain. And even if you've been here a million times, things can change, so they keep up to date, and they let the port pilot has precedence over the ship pilot. And that's necessitated by insurance companies, by the way, too. The insurance on these ships is very, very expensive. And so they have rules and regulations, and of course the ports can have rules and regulations, because if you crash or sink your ship in the port, then you stop all the ships from coming in. If you're a sailing fan and a ship fan, and you start learning all the intricate things you need to know about sailing, pretty interesting. You can geek out on this, which I kind of have. You are now entering a different dimension. I can't do the Twilight Zone theme, can I? Oh crap, where am I going? Tonight, since it's the first night, you're going to see a lot of people doing videos in here, including me. PJ Party. It's night one, and we are at the Pajama Party, which is normally held at one of the top decks. But I guess there's a threat of inclement weather, so they moved it into the nightclub. Two-story Manor. Night one PJ Party is pretty rowdy. Moved indoors because the weather outside was threatening. And look at it. I'm up on the second story, and there's all kinds of fun stuff going up here. Quiet areas, which I like, but not so quiet areas. Woo! Here's some really good jangling guitar over here. See what this is about.
sing. I'm too sexy for this shit. Y'all wanna see that?
Post this on it, but the room is a little messy right now because I have not unpacked. I did win my upgrade for $125 extra total. They moved me up a floor, and now I don't have to look at a lifeboat, and now I get to do what I like to do at night before I go to bed. I always go out on the balcony and take a look what's going on. Look at that. So tomorrow's a sea day, and we have to get all the way to Costa Maya, Mexico, and it is a long trip. And they typically will go faster at nighttime because the wind whips up, and they know during the day that can disturb the guests. Welcome. Ate and drank too much, and now I have the configuration I like better. I like having my bed closer to the balcony. This room is bigger. Yeah, it's a little bit wider. The balcony seems to be wider, so $125. I had $600 worth of sailor loot, which is what we call OBC in the onboard credit, and you were able to use that. So now I have $475 to spend on board, and I got a better room, so I'm happy. Virgin allows you to bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin. So sometimes it's per guest, 1 per guest or whatever. So I have 2 bottles. My white is chilling in the mini fridge, and the red is sitting there still unpacked. I have not unpacked because I literally had a rush and move here, and then haven't even barely got straightened out yet. Okay, it is about 12:30 a.m., which is good. I'm going to bed early. Good night, everyone.